He led the investigation that captured the attention of people in Virginia and across the world. The disappearance of University of Virginia student Hannah Graham. Charlottesville Police Chief Tim Longo guided the relentless search for Hannah and her accused kidnapper, and he became known for his passionate news conferences.
But now, for the first time, the chief is talking about what he calls the most difficult 35 days of his entire career. Laura French has this CBS 6 exclusive report.
I'm Chief Longo, the Charlottesville Police Department.
October 18th, 2014.
What, if you can even put into words, was going through your head as you prepared for that press conference?
How do you prepare for that?
A police chief about to deliver tragic news with the world watching.
When they discovered what appears to be human remains.
The heartbreaking end to what would be the most difficult 35 days in Tim Longo's 34-year career.
It was one of the saddest moments of a career, to know that at some point in time, someone will have to sit down with two very wonderful and special people and share news with them that they don't want to hear.
Life, as this family knew it, would all change on one mid-September day.
About the disappearance of UVA sophomore Hannah Graham.
The victim.
We're looking for Hannah Graham.
Her parents.
This is every parent's worst nightmare.
The pain.
Please, please, help end this nightmare for all of us. Please help us to bring Hannah home.
The powerful pleas.
And pick up the phone and tell us something.
If that young lady's touched your life in any way, you have the responsibility to help us find her.
And the passion.
I believe Jessie Matthew was the last person she was seen with before she vanished off the face of the earth.
Hannah Elizabeth Graham, the 18-year-old University of Virginia star student and athlete, the only daughter of John and Susan Graham, the name that would make international headlines after she disappeared in the early hours of September 13th. These would be the last images of the second-year student, the final frames captured on Charlottesville's downtown pedestrian mall. Support to find Hannah quickly started coming in from around the world, from well wishes on the web to hundreds of search and support teams on the ground. A community and police force with one common goal.
I would tell them I've made a promise on your behalf, so help me fulfill that promise. And they did.
What was that commitment that you made to John and Susan Graham?
To bring their daughter home.
I got 3 more for your team.
That enormous task was filled with many challenges.
I'm hoping that they're hearing my words and seeing my frustration.
And some criticisms.
So I think maybe it's a little bit overly emotional.
I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about this job. I'm passionate about the message that I communicate it in the way that I do that. And if that's offensive or that is something to be criticized for, I'll fully accept the criticism. Now let's move on.
And he did.
And obtained an arrest warrant for Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr. of Charlottesville, charging him with a Class 2 felony of abduction with the intent to defile.
Days after she vanished and many miles from the downtown mall, the prime suspect in Hannah Graham's disappearance is captured on a beach in Texas. The manhunt for an accused kidnapper over, but his alleged victim still missing.
Our little girl.
Each day without Hannah getting increasingly harder on the Grahams.
As a parent and as a husband, I can't imagine what they're going through.
And this father of 4.
And you're sitting in the sidelines at your own daughter's soccer game. Does it make you feel like you can't take anything for granted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are 2 things I say to my children every morning before either I leave the house or they leave the house. And it's, I love you, and come home to me safely.
And that is what this chief and his department wanted so desperately for these parents. But as the world would find out October 18th, that is not how Day 35 would end.
Detective Sergeant James Mooney of the Charlottesville Police Department made a very difficult phone call.
The search for Hannah Graham ended on this vacant Albemarle County property. But even in the midst of their despair, this message from the Grahams would follow.
But due to the tenacity and determination of Chief Longo, Hannah is coming home to us, and we will be eternally grateful to him for this. They just lost their daughter, and you're the person that they put in that first paragraph.
We treated two very special people, two very wonderful people, how we would want our own families treated if, God forbid, we were in a similar situation. It's no more complicated than that. It's just that simple.
It's just simply the way this 34-year veteran of the force and his team operates behind these closed doors. It's what he says comes with wearing this badge. It's what came with that promise he made to these parents that mid-September day.
We can come together for a common good and achieve a result. In this case, that result was painful. It was very painful. It is very painful. But it's also a result that honors a commitment that was made. I don't know how that can't touch you. And it touched me and continues to do so.
Longo says some cases walk with you forever. This is one of them. He says they owe a huge debt to those who assisted in this case, and they are poised and prepared to pay it forward with honor if called upon. As for this ongoing criminal case, he says it is far from over and asks for the public's patience. He hopes justice prevails and that no matter what the outcome, that it is just. Laura French, CBS 6 News.
We have complete coverage of the Hannah Graham case and the latest on the charges against Jesse Matthew on our website, WTVR.com.